We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Please don't swear. I had to double check them because yesterday when we went live, I'd only done live to Facebook. So when we were all talking, I had to go back on and click edit and put it on YouTube. So we did actually stream on YouTube, but the first 5 minutes was missed, and it were only because Soldier commented and said, "Oh, aren't you on YouTube?" I was like, "Yeah, we are on YouTube."
I need to watch it back because I missed most of it.
I enjoyed last night. I thought it was really, really interesting last night.
Loved his accent, must say.
Evening, Anne, my lovely lady.
Hi,
Sweet. So we're back to the Wednesday night chitty chatty late night chit chat show.
It's gone back to winter, hasn't it?
It has gone back to winter.
It's snowing.
Evening, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Joe.
Hi.
As we're driving back from Chesterfield, there
was
one car covered in snow. All the rest had none, but this one car was covered in snow, and it was evening, Mandy. Hey, Kelly. It's like, oh my God, it snowed while we've
probably
been
snowing today, wasn't it? When we were driving down, it started.
Yeah, it was snowing when I were on M18.
It's been thrown up in Durham as well.
It's going to snow again tonight.
Well, technically, Rob says in Chesterfield it's not snowing. He says over in Chesterfield they've got evening. Jill, how are you, my lovely? We have got Nanny Blue. You've been out for a meal, and I didn't even think you'd be on yet.
Thank you, Anne.
What we're going to say? Apparently, it's sun shining tomorrow over in Chesterfield, so I think we'll be going out around Chesterfield markets again. Evening, Dee. Ladies looking lovely tonight. Did you have a nice meal, Nanny Lane? Did you have a nice meal, my lovely? Time did you get back in? Evening, yes. Are we this evening? Been home since 10 p.m. Oh, I didn't realise you were going to be home since 10 p.m. You just said you were going out tonight for a meal. I hope you enjoyed your meal and you had a good night, my lovely. Yes, good evening. How's everything with you? Hope everybody is well. Good evening, Soldier. All on his lonesome over on YouTube land. T-bone steak. Is that on it bone you're going to get though, Nanny Lynn? Or are we going to have some more bones later? It's all right.
Hi, Jules.
Oh, cheesecake. Now you've got me. I like cheesecake.
We always get one numpty coming in. I don't know. Good evening. It snowed here in South Chesterfield about 6:30 and about 8.
We were driving in it, Jules. It was brilliant.
Oh, yes. I'm hoping it doesn't snow tomorrow. I'm just going to check the weather forecast, ladies, while we're on. So please talk amongst yourselves while
I like snow. I want it to snow.
Look, what's happening tomorrow? And I can say to Yolanda, you're meeting me. You're meeting me.
I can't believe on Monday we were getting our summery clothes out, certainly spring clothes, and today the winter one's back out.
That's tomorrow's forecast.
Oh, sun out.
We've got the sun tomorrow. It's going to get a bit rainy though, about 1 o'clock.
Have you seen what Nanny Lynn's written? She's not allowed phone anymore.
No bone on it. Hey, dear. Let me see if I can send Nanny link. Bear with.
Northern Ireland expecting snow. Snow in Cambridge.
I've got sunshine, but it's only going to be 6 degrees. 6 degrees tomorrow.
Cold. 6
degrees.
Yeah.
Willing that back out again.
Well, we've had How are you? Worried. Jules, they're very worried. Let Gaz go and lay with them tonight in the garden and keep them nice and warm.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Everything's blue, everything's coming out. It's like, I don't want them dying. I don't want plants dying.
Well, it's not sunny up here tomorrow. It looks like snow and rain.
Is it? See, you can have it all tomorrow. We've got rid
Oh,
of it tomorrow.
you might be getting it when you come up here.
Hey, you never know. It's not long, is it? It's only a couple of weeks, I'd say.
No.
Evening, I hope you're well, my lovely. So meditation, ladies. We've done a bit on meditation tonight. Well, we've done some really good meditations, yes. And it was the meditation we did. We just we just listened to music tonight, didn't we? The first one, Brian talked us through the meditation, and then they put some music on because it was the last. Well, it's not the last session as such, because we're doing Encourse Court next week. I said it right. I'm saying it right. But. So we did and we did it just to music. We didn't do a guided meditation. And I've only brought this up because earlier on when I were doing members chat earlier tonight, somebody said they can't meditate. And I said to meditate, you don't have to listen to a guided meditation. It might be a song. It might be just music with no words. It's whatever you find comfortable to work with. So, yeah, tonight we did that. First time I've ever done it just to listening to music, and what an experience it were.
I'm going to have to try that because my mind wanders.
What's you're laughing at there?
What song? You're all looking very nice tonight. Did you dress yourself?
I'm in my jimmies.
Jimmy's. I was going to come undressed, but I had some lavender and vanilla honey, and I brought the toast upstairs because I thought my little pot of honey, I thought it had got a squirty on top. It turns out when you take lid off, it's just an open lid. So as I'm going like that with the honey, it blobbed out. So as you can see, I had quite a bit of honey on the toast. And as I'm eating it, I looked down and I'd got strings of honey coming down from the top. So I thought, I better get changed. So yeah.
And then you did dress yourself. You dressed yourself in honey.
I did dress myself.
Hope you're well, Gillian.
Jules has brought her seeds back in. You know, there's quite a few though that's been planting plants. So come on then, guys, what's going to be his topic tonight? And I don't know. Daughter bought it me in a pot for Mother's Day with some facial creams and all sorts. But I do like my honey. It's called Honey Honey Company. So yeah, but that's the little teddy bear look.
Cute.
Evening, Deanna.
Hi, Deanna.
Well, we were on last night, Deanna. We had a gentleman on last night, and the land where he lives is there's all native Indians connected to the land. He maybe have been able to give you a couple of tips for your land. So we shall have to see when he'll come back on, and yeah, because he might have got some good ways of protecting your land, because obviously it's Native American Indian. So I don't know whether you have to do things differently when you work with them. Here she is.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm not alone. No more boning. No more boning.
You're not
I'll have to
boning,
go
are you?
dogging. I'll have to go up the hill dogging.
So, Joe Mike's put, what's been your giggle of the week? So go on, Yo, what's been your giggle of the week this week? We'll go around.
Actually, the giggle of the week that's come to mind, I can't repeat because it's politically incorrect. So can you move to somebody else and come back to me?
Naughty, Yo, naughty.
That's the first one that springs to mind. And I think most people on here would find it funny. But they could be spies in the camp.
It could upset somebody, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Lana?
Well, I have to say my grandson today.
I've got to say that would be my giggle of the week.
He was so funny because he thinks you can see him. So when you're doing a live, he's talking to you and he's putting things on the screen like, look at this, Lindsay. Lindsay, look at this. And Holly and I were just falling about in laughter, and he was constantly trying to connect with you. She can't see you. So I had to try and type something so that you could speak to him.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it. I got a picture of Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. I'm there, dude. I'm there. Yeah.
He just makes me giggle. He's so good.
Danny Lynn, your giggle of the week.
Oh, this is epic. Epic.
Epic.
The other night, Pino brought a baby mouse. Run up the stairs with it, jumped on my bed.
Oh,
I was screaming because I don't like them. And he let it go, and Bella grabbed it. So Bella grabbed it, ran on the landing, and wouldn't let me touch it. And then ran downstairs and took it outside. But before she got it, it was hidden under the bed. And I was trying to move the bed. And I was hurting me back and my leg and my knees and God knows what. Shouted down to Grumpy, will you get up here and try and help me catch this bloody mouse? He said, what do you want me to do? I can't catch the bloody thing. So I went, well, thanks very much. Hope you're all right down there. And then, as I said, Bella went outside with it and was messing about with it. And eventually, I think she ate it. I don't know. Anyway, last night, Pino brought another mouse in.
No.
But left it in the living room where he is.
Oh.
So he said, oh no, Pino's brought another mouse. I said, never mind, you'll get it. Like I had to last night. You didn't help me, so I'm not bloody helping you.
Karma 101.
Yes.
Hey, Marco. Thanks, Gillian, my lovely. Beth. Claire, your moment of the week, and I know you're having a rough time at the minute, but
I had one this week. Yeah, I think this is it.
This is
it. Yeah.
Yeah, tonight's the night. Tonight's the night. So, anybody got any any topics they want to? Exactly, Deanna is bringing presents to Nanny Lynn.
Anniversary present for you, Nanny Lynn.
Yeah.
Just be glad that it's a mouse. It could be something. Could be something a lot.
It could have been a worm.
Could have been anything.
Joe Mac Pino is spelled P-I-N-O-T, not Peno.
Jules has put my laugh this week. My laugh this week was two pissheads walking past our house 11 a.m. Monday morning. She couldn't walk straight, and then he dropped his can of lager, bent over to pick it up, and fell over me and Gaz wasn't laughing much. Not a lot. Not a lot.
In the morning.
Oh, you're a snake. There you go, Nanny Lynn. You nearly had a bone and a steak. A bone and a snake.
Did you like my comment, Nanny Lynn, on your wedding anniversary post?
Yeah.
I suppose a shag's
yeah, I did, yeah. No,
thought that was very romantic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for somebody else.
I've had a few giggles this week. But
my friend Alan Myatt was there.
His grandson talking to me, and I know what he's doing when I'm on. Even I know what he's doing when I'm on. I know that he's talking to the screen. As soon as Lana says, Arlo says hello, it's like he's talking to me, and I can't talk back. What was John's giggle of the week? John's giggle of the week. What were your giggle of the week? I don't think he can say either. It's a bit politically incorrect.
Yeah, it's a trouble now, isn't it?
It is incorrect. It's just incorrect. It's just incorrect. With
something somebody said, and it was double entendre. Let's say it that way.
Do you know? So, last night we had an amazing gentleman join us.
Sorry, Anne's just asked what mine is. And I can't think of anything because mine is so politically incorrect. And although I think I know most of you in chat, and you'd get it, you'd laugh, but I don't know who else will watch this, and it won't be me that will get in trouble. It'll be Lindsay and John for having me on ETA. And I can't think of anything else because when Lindsay said, "What's funny?" after Joe asked the question, guess what? That's what I've got in my head. It's like, don't think of pink elephants. That's all I've got in my head.
Yeah.
Tell them your laugh of the week were healing me and stabbing me.
Oh, do you know what? I've never known this, right? So tonight we've done. I've said earlier on, we've done meditation tonight. So after we've done his meditation, every time we start meditation, the last couple of times I get a stabbing in my side.
Oh, that's
it's
funny,
not my pain, because my pain's more in my back and the side, not direct side, and it's like a sharp jab. That's all I can explain it as. So tonight we evening Jordan.
Hi, Jordan, nice to see you.
We were doing sending healing out, afterwards.
Well, you're doing healing on yourself, weren't you? Then you had to send it to the person on your left.
Yeah, so we did. He's butting in, look, and you need to come on. So we're doing the healing, sending healing out, but then they said send the healing to the person on your left. So I sent it on left, and as soon as we'd finished meditation, John says, "You've just stabbed me." And I went, "What?" And he went, "You've just stabbed me in my side." And I went, "I have not." I said, "I got a stabbing pain in my side." He went, "No." He went, "You honestly, Lindsay," he said, "as soon as you sent that healing, I stabbed him."
When healing, you imagine stabbing him. Stabbing me. Seriously, I got stabbed.
Oh dear.
So afterwards we were talking, and obviously, evening Christina, things
Spiritual abuse.
It's not spiritual abuse.
Spiritual abuse.
We don't know whether it's one of my guides that's stepping forward when I'm meditating, and that's how they're letting me know that they're with me by this like little jolt. Because obviously when we're in meditation, I only get it. So it like, like when you're going and you're like going deeper and deeper into meditation, I like get it and it pulls me back before you go. And when we were doing meditation, it got my head down and I could feel myself. I could see it getting darker and see things coming, but then I'd like have a jolt back up and then I'd go forward, and then it were like, and it was interesting when they said it afterwards, the fact that it could have been one of my guys that was like sticking me with a pin kind of thing, because I'm not meant to go as far in the meditation just yet. Do you know what I mean? So I know that the guides are working around me. I just didn't mean them to stab John, but yeah, it was a spiritual attack on John tonight. So one up to me.
Did you see Heather's giggle?
I've just back up. Heather's giggle for today was walking up with my head stuck in the elasticated corner. Waking up with the head stuck in the
Oh God!
Do that. That's good. Getting a little bit of echo back on.
That reminds me of my brother. When he was younger, he woke out up and he was just screaming, "I can't find my head! I can't find my head!" Turns out in his sleep, his feet were on his pillow and his head
Yeah, it's going for a wobble. I got a pain in my right side last night in the circle and smelt burning wood. Oi, Ben, how are you? Ooh, you could have been got a pain in the right side in a circle. Is that while you were meditating, Jules, or was that while you were in the circle? Because Jules went to a circle last night, an open circle, I mean, the smell of burning wood and being poked could be your energies coming in around you to let you know. If it didn't link in with everybody, it could have been a witch. They could have been burning you at stake again, Jules. Again, did you hear the again part? Hey, Charles, my lovely. Even still, how can it ping off? Like a shower cat, where I was. Bleeding now. So come on then. Let's think of a subject that we can start on. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Has anybody read these new books that are coming out? It's not the wonky donkey one. It's the one like Brenda's Beaver. There is
so funny, that one. No.
Have you read them though, Lana? Have you read Brenda's Beaver? It is. It's a kid. It's an adult. It's a kid's book, but adult humour. Right. And it's called Brenda's Beaver. And there's one, and it's the Wonky Donkey, and it's the Winky Wonky Donkey. That one is.
I've heard of those ones.
Yeah, that one is like a kid's. That's a proper kid's book. That I don't think it's. But Brenda's Beaver is bloody hilarious. I laugh at it every time because Brenda's Beaver's hairy and the trim and all sorts. It's absolutely one of the best. They've been they've actually brought some new books out. So I'm going to see if I can get John to download one, and we will do the other story one, because I know we've done Brenda's Beaver a couple of times. Well, we've not literally done Brenda's Beaver, but we've read Brenda's Beaver a couple of times. Jack off the horse. That's what it's called. Jack off the horse. But they are Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. That's what it's called, Gillian. Thank you. And the Jack off the horse, which is another funny one to be reading. So yes. So on a spiritual level, you want to read these books, because I'll tell you something. If ever you've got a moment of sadness, if you read Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. It's not a spiritual book, but it will
I just watched Peter Kay.
Peter Kay. You know, I've got to admit, I like a bit of Peter Kay, though. Peter Kay for
he's
he's from Bolton, isn't he, Peter Kay?
Yeah, he mentioned Bolton in the video I was watching today. It was just so funny.
Yeah. So what's she's got a Peter Kay book. There has to be one that has to
have earlier.
Have you ever
done that?
Have you ever read his books?
What, Peter Kay?
I've read the first one.
They're really good books to read. Brenda's Beaver is not a spiritual book. I'm gonna send it over to Lana, because I think we've still got it. Actually, let me see. Just give me a minute.
It's a book on hygiene.
Brenda's Beaver.
But it's not.
I hope there's something rude up.
Yeah, going back to Peter Kay, though, I love it when he does them songs, you know, where he sings what he thinks.
Yeah.
So funny. Every time I hear the songs now, I sing his words.
Yeah, it's so clever.
Yeah.
So clever.
It really is.
That one today with Holly, and Holly said, "No, I cannot listen to that song in the same way."
You can't. You can't.
I'll be back in a minute. I need a wee.
Okie doke.
Yeah, that's it, Joe. The misheard lyrics.
Yeah. Every time the song comes on now, I sing his words and smile.
Yeah. But it does cheer you up, doesn't it? Because it's about life. It's just those silly things.
You can relate to everything he says.
You can.
Yeah.
And then
the wedding.
Talk about
The wedding was so funny.
and how people act at weddings, and it's so true.
Yeah, definitely. And the biscuit one.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, he's brilliant. He really is. So
yeah.
clever.
I booked tickets to see his last tour, but he cancelled, didn't he? Obviously, he's got personal things going on. Yeah, I was gutted.
I like when they show his mum's face in the audience when he's talking about the roller cola.
You know something? He seems to work really hard as well on stage. He doesn't just stand there. He's literally dancing.
He's up and down.
About the stage. He does work for his money. He doesn't just stand
his
there.
observation of life is absolutely incredible.
Brilliant.
Right. So,
incidental as well. You know, it's the way that he kind of puts it across.
Yeah.
Are we ready, ladies and gents? Right. I've got a little bit of it. I don't know if I've got all of it, but we'll give it a go. Hang on, just let me mute that, because I think it's Nanny Lynn that we're getting feedback from.
Just let me stay.
Nanny Lynn we're getting feedback from. So.
I think I've got it on here.
What? Not the full story, have you?
Yeah, because we got it.
Yeah, I got some good tickets as well. Jules, I was gutted.
Nanny Lynn, can you just check? Because we're getting feedback from your end. Can you just check that everything your end is kosher? Because there's feedback coming from your end, sweets. Even with headphones.
All I've got. No, I've only got StreamYard on. Hang on.
It's gone, hasn't
it? Julian's just put about a spoon. That's so funny. That's in the biscuit one, isn't it? Fetch me a spoon.
No.
Quick. It's sinking.
Hang on.
Quick, Mum, fetch a spoon. I'm sinking.
It's the one with the biscuit. It's the one with the biscuit, the weak biscuit that drops in his tea.
Okay, Deanna.
Better?
I can't remember.
Digestion or
something. Right. So I don't know how far I'm going to get with this, but who will help jack off the horse? I am Morse. Morse, of course. Would you help jack off the horse?
Do you want one and a two?
I do not like you, Morse, of course. If you were mine, we would divorce. I would not, could not, Morse, of course. I would not help jack off the horse. Would you do it here or there? I would not do it here or there. I would not do it anywhere. If he got up there somehow, would you help jack off a cow? All I can say is, wow, I would not help jack off a cow. Not here, not there, not then, not now. I would not help jack off a cow. Perhaps if he were on a boat, would you help jack off a goat? I can't believe these. I would not help jack off a goat. Not here, not there, not on a boat. This Jack of yours, he seems quite ill. Get him off. I never will. And then I think, oh no, that's the end of that one.
Oh dear me.
Unless John can find me rest. But I just think that this range of books is just absolutely, it's just bloody amazing. John's going to see if he can find them. We downloaded them, we paid for them and downloaded them because I just think that they're just one of the funniest.
Very clever.
Very clever how they word it. I mean, the Brenda's Beavers. I'm still in stitches when I'm reading that one because I just think it's class. But the jack off a horse, of course, I will not help jack off a horse. And obviously, it's the innuendos behind it. But could you imagine buying these books for your grandkids and not knowing
Yeah.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Dad sat on bed reading this. What's this? Jack off a horse. And they wouldn't, but you know, unless I wonder how people's minds would work if you actually bought it. Would they look at it like we're looking at it, or would they think it's actually a man named Jack and we're helping him over?
Well, I think
that's what it's done. That's what it's double.
If you look at the Carry On films, we could, as kids, watch those, you know.
And they were very highly with the weren't they, when you think about it?
We didn't seem to think of it, you know, we didn't think too much about it.
Yeah, Charles
pantomime though, isn't it? It's like pantomime. As an adult, when I've took my son, when he was younger, to a pantomime, and I thought, they used to say things like that when I was a child, but a child doesn't get the adult's sense of humour bit, do they?
No.
Not unless they're clever kids, and then they sit there and they laugh, and you look at them and say, you don't know what that meant, and they go, yes I do. And then you think, Michael's done that on a couple of occasions for me when we've been watching something or something's come on telly and we're watching it, and like we can see the humour side in it from an adult side, and Max is laughing along, and you're like, what are you laughing at? And he'll go, you know. You think, is he being serious, or does he want me to tell him? You know. They're very clever, these kids these days.
So they're a lot different as well, because I used to blush if anything came on in and I was sat with Mum and Dad, I'd blush. I'm like, oh, God, just get me out of here.
Even now, I've got on, what did I ever tell her? I put Vikings on, and we were watching Vikings, and Jordan, I don't know whether she was still at home at this point or whether she'd moved out or what, but she would put it on. And she was sat in the room and she went, I'm going upstairs. And I went, why? She says, I'm not watching this. Women mother sat next to me, because it was literally sex from beginning to end of it. Only because it was showing you how the Vikings way of life, and obviously. And I said to her,
we never had a telly.
She says, I'm not watching that with my mother sat outside on me. She went, it's not right. But then she gives me information anyway. So what's not right? I don't get it. It's okay to see it, but not to watch it.
That's all the Vikings.
No worries, Jordan.
That's all the Vikings could do, isn't
it? But yeah, it's a bit crazy.
There's nothing worse than watching sex with your parents in the room. It's awful. I hated it.
Someone once dared me when we were I think it was last year at junior school. They dared me to ask my mum what a blowjob was, so I did. And I wish I'd not, because oh my God, she sat there explaining.
Some of the clips of you on YouTube of Rainbow, the children's program.
Yeah, well, I've seen some of them. They are really bad.
Yeah.
And I can't remember it being like that.
But you can. Do you know, they're not dubbed, because you know, if you actually go back and you put an old Rainbow on and you see Jeffrey, George and Bungle and Zippy and how they talk and the things they said and the things Jane said, it was like, that would be, did our parents pick up on that when we, do you know like how we watched things? Did our parents pick up on that?
No, because I showed them my mom. I can't remember I'm saying stuff like that. She's like sat there with her mouth like.
Andy Pandy went to bed with Looby Loo, didn't he?
He did. Andy Pandy did go to bed with Looby Loo.
Yeah. And Biggie Hughes. They had to stop that.
They had to stop Biggie.
Getting back to your BJ, why do you think I renamed Bella? Bella, because she was named BJ. When I got her. And I never even thought about it. Honestly, as thick as I am.
So you're standing outside calling out BJ, come here.
No, I didn't get that far, because people said, you can't call her that. I said, why not? It's lovely, BJ. She said, Lynn, think about it. BJ. Oh.
BJ.
Hello.
BJ.
All right, Annie Lynn stood up front going, anybody want bloody BJ?
Yeah. Come on to bed, BJ. BJ's waiting.
So, right, I'm going to ask a question. Right, so, on a spiritual note, then, when you're all on your own journeys, what's one of the most unexplainable things, even today, you can't explain? So I'm going to go for Lana first. I'll put Lana on the
Would
spot.
do, wouldn't you?
Yeah, put Lana on the spot. It gives me Claire and Yolanda time to think, because you and Nanny Lynn have got plenty of we've got to ponder what we're going to say.
I didn't get to bed till 3 o'clock this morning. Thanks, Liv.
That's not my fault.
Why?
Because I was chatting to Kenneth after the show.
Kenneth, yeah.
The most unexplainable, did you say, Lynn?
Is this personal experience?
Right. Does the filter in, you know?
I just get a drink.
I think I have to mention my friendship. Oh, do I have to wait?
No, go on.
My friendship with the priest that I told you about, because that was incredible. And it's strange because it's kind of similar in some ways with Kenneth, the spiritual connection. I'm not going to mention the priest's name because out of respect, but
that's cold.
It was something that was very, very, it was unexplainable. And for the fact that he was a priest and that he informed me of the connection that he had, which you wouldn't normally get from a priest, really. So, sorry for being quite cryptic, but I'm wondering if I can give an example, because it is sounding a little bit strange.
It is a little bit strange. So, see if you can think of an example that you can think of.
Right. I took a friend to, basically she'd been going through a divorce and she was quite on the brink, should we say. So she would call me day and night. Over a period of time, it got quite exhausting for me. So I decided, I don't know why, but I decided to take her to church. So I took her to church and we sat at the back. There was a mass about to start. And he came up, he got up and he came straight to us. And I said, it's about my friend. And I said her name. And then he said, oh, hello. And he said a different name. And I said, no, it's not that name. And she said, no, I was confirmed. You didn't know this, but that was my name.
Wow.
So that was kind of my first meeting with him. And you know, when you just sit there and you think, what's going on here? I've come here for some help. And now it's starting to be a little bit surreal. So then I have 5 minutes of your time. And these people are waiting for Mass to start. And he said, yes, come with me. We'll go into, this room here. So we went. And we looked across, and I'd purchased a cross, I think a few weeks before. And because I was experiencing a lot of things in her house. And he looked across and he said, are you a medium? And I said, no, I pick things up now and again. This was before I was kind of fully aware. And he said, have you had that cross blessed? And I said, no. So he came over and blessed the cross. So that was kind of my first meeting, and the connection was there straight away. So it kind of progressed after that with different incidents that occurred along the way that was equally as mind-blowing, if you like.
Yeah.
For instance, one night she phoned me and she was really distressed. So I went to see her, and I'd literally been there 10 minutes and the phone rang. She said, I don't want to speak to anybody. You answer the phone. So I did. And it was this priest. And he said, "Do you need me?" And I was like, how did you know? I just said, "Yes, please come down," and just talk to her, because that connection was.
That connection you had with them was one that you couldn't explain, could you? Even on a spiritual level, it was a strong connection. Nanny Lane, what about you?
What about me? Oh, I was listening.
What's the spiritual connection that you've had that you couldn't explain?
I wouldn't say connection, but I was in. This was years ago. Somebody thumped me in the back while I was in bed, and I said, "Ouch!" Obviously, and there was nobody in bed with me. No animals. Tone wasn't there, but it was a definite physical thump in the back. And to this day, I don't know who it was and why it was, but it wasn't very pleasant. The other time was, and it hurt. The other time, I think I may have said this, where I was half asleep and this horrible face come in front of my face and was really sort of, evil looking. And I was trying to shout out and move, help, and I couldn't. And I could physically feel myself going, how, like that. I mean, it might look funny, but and I wasn't getting it out. So then I realised my dog Dusty, that's passed now, was out on the landing. So I eventually, Dusty, and she come running in, and it went.
Wow.
And I've no idea, but I couldn't move. It literally had pinned me down. Couldn't move, and it was only when I finally got the words out to call Dusty in that it went.
I've had experiences where I don't feel like I'm pinned down and I don't see anything in front of my face, but I have that, and I don't know whether this is sleep paralysis. I don't know whether it's something else, but I do that where I feel I feel very anxious in the moment, and I know I'm awake, and I can't shout. I can't. It's like I'm frozen, and I'm trying to get to. Because John's only outside on me, and I can't even lift my arm to get to him. But in that moment, it's like I can't. I don't say pure fear, because it's not pure fear, but it's very alarming when you go in, like you say, you go to speak, and you can hear the words inside. I can hear the words in my head. I can hear me shouting, but it's not. There's no sound coming out. And then all of a sudden, it's like something changes, and I'll wake up, and then I go into a panic. I sit on end of bed, and I say, "John, I'm having a panic attack," and that brings my panic attack from when I'm asleep. But like I said, it's not like I see anything. It's not like I feel anything, and it doesn't happen. It might happen, I don't know, once every 3 to 4 months, or it could happen twice every 3 to 4 months, and that happens. But it's not something that's only just started happening. This is something that I've had from early 20s. That this is something that I've gone through. Sometimes I used to make kids sleep with me at night, and I would sleep with them, and I'd curl them round so the feet were digging in me. So if it happened while they were in bed, I could still feel them next to me, which would calm the panic. But when it happens now, it's awful. It's like an anxiety attack. I don't know if it's the start of an anxiety attack while I'm asleep, maybe. Whether there's something happening on a spiritual level, but I can't explain that. But I would say that's probably one that I can't explain. But
I think it is sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis, that is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking more. Sleep paralysis. But how that could happen, but then you wake up to have that attack afterwards? Is it like is it my brain pre-setting me for the the attack coming? Because it's awful when it happens. Yo-yo, go on then. Experience you've had that you can't explain. If any. Because I know we're on.
I've got a few that have happened recently, actually. My grandmother had got Alzheimer's, and as a family, we wondered if she'd make Christmas. And then I wondered if she'd make my birthday. And I think I was doing the washing up. And I went into space. You know how you go into a trance when you're doing something mundane like washing up? You're not really there. And all of a sudden, this voice said to me, no, she'll be there for your birthday, but she'll die on the 8th of January. And then I sat up. And I thought, oh, that's weird. And I remember being told she'll die on the 8th of January. And I told my aunt, who was her only surviving daughter, I said, Jenny, I've had a message and she's going to die on the 8th of January. And she did. And then more recently to that,
Wow.
I used to work in a science department at a school. And I'd gone outside because we'd got some chemical that had to be walked very carefully, you know, because you're walking it through the college premises. And I was walking outside, and as I was walking back in again, I heard somebody say Yolanda, as if I was saying Lindsay, Lana, Claire, that clearly. And I spun my head round. Well, the bins were behind me. And then I heard Yolanda again. So I actually walked up and circled round the bins, but there was nobody there. And I looked, absolutely nobody around. Anyway, I was just about to go into the building, and Rob pulled up in the car, and he said, darling, have you heard the news? And I said, no. And he told me that one of my best friends had just died unexpectedly. And it was weird.
Oh. So you've definitely got that spiritual connection coming on there. But I know Yolanda's starting to open up on her own spiritual journey through church and the experiences she's having. So this is making sense to where we know Yolanda's progressing on her own spiritual journey and getting back in tune with the energies around. What about you, Claire?
So I've had loads of things happen, but the one that springs to mind that I really, really can't explain is I was in Northern General Hospital for quite a long time, well over a month, and I'd got my curtains drawn because at night, you know, there's that much going off at nurses' station at the end of your bit, and lights on and everything. So I used to pull my curtains round and have my reading lamp on so I didn't disturb anyone else reading my book on my phone, whatever I were doing. This one particular night, sat up in bed, sort of at an angle, you know, your bed, like, you can tilt your bed, so I'm like laid in at an angle. And the next minute, I've got this creepiest black, I don't want to say it were an animal, I don't want to say it were a figure, it was like a combination of the two, and I can see it, but I can't describe it. And it was like crawling up my body in like an awful, like kind of creepy, you know, like demony, if you saw a film like way. And I freaked out. Now I don't know whether I was asleep or awake, but I am 100% convinced as I'm telling you now that I was awake, because that's just how real it was. So I went outside for a cigarette, so I get all my equipment, my drip and whatever else. And I went outside and went down for a cigarette because I was that freaked out, I was shaking. Well, as I'm having my cigarette, my ex-husband walks into the hospital. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Well, his dad was on the same ward as me, but round the corner. And at the moment that I'd had that experience, his dad had passed away. All the family turned up.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
What kind of gentleman were his dad? Did you get on with him? Was it somebody that you...
Yeah. No, I got on really well with him. Really, really well. I mean, we'd not spoke for quite a while because me and Sean had split up like quite a few years. But yeah, I did pop round to see him because I knew we were poorly, so I did go round and take Wednesday and see him. But previous to that, I've not seen him for a few years. But yeah, when he were alive, I was closer than perhaps his son was, because I was always in with him. I was always the one cutting the kitchen, talking to him, and yeah, we were really close at one point. He'd do anything for me, anything for Aaron.
Yeah.
But it was just weird how it happened.
Weird how it happened, but there's no. I don't think there's a direct connection. If he was a nice gentleman, do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know, but it's just the timing of it.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like that before, and I've never had anything like that since. And I just can't make the connection.
Go on, Lana. Can you think of a connection, and then I'll come to Nanny Lynn, and then for Claire.
I can only think that because you were in hospital, did you say? So
yeah, we were on the same ward, different bays, obviously, because I was on female bay. He was on the male bay. They were like open bays, and it went round. So you've got female, male.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I think, as we know, there's lots of spirits that would be within the hospital grounds as well over periods of time. It may just be that it's a coincidence, the timing of it. It could have been that you were. Did you say you were asleep? You didn't know if you were asleep or awake.
Yeah, I'm 100% convinced I'm awake, but thinking about it now, I'm like, I must have been asleep, but it felt so real. I could see the curtains still around me, everything.
But you would have been in that state, wouldn't you? Your mind would have been in that state because you were kind of sleepy, awake state. So you would have been sort of in that, what we would have said, kind of almost meditative state. Where things do come to you more easily. I'm not quite...
Maybe you're an energy, because Claire has got that spiritual
like
sense.
I can't connect his to what like I saw.
Yeah.
Because it was the way it moved, like creepy, like like rolling up me.
It wouldn't it wouldn't be deemed as something nice, something.
No.
You knew that
it wasn't nice. It didn't feel nice.
So
obviously, I was creeped out. I was like, went downstairs and I must have had about 4 or 5. And like I said, that's when Sean came and all his family, and I was like.
In a way, to me, it feels as though it was something that's just like kind of jumped in at that time when your mind was in a state to receive something that way, spiritually, and it could have been something that's been there for a long time.
Could have been something that was there for a long time. So I'm having to put Nanny Lynn on mute at the minute, because it's Nanny Lynn's that we're getting feedback from. I've put everybody on mute, and it's Nanny Lynn we're getting. Don't worry, Nanny Lynn. I don't know why it does it, because it didn't do it other night when you were on with Paul. So I don't know why it does it when you're on with us. So Nanny Lynn, I'll put you back on. Do you agree with where Lana's coming from? Do you see it as something different? Because we all have these different beliefs, don't we? Do you think different? What's your take on it, Nanny?
Well, with Claire saying that she was so close, and yet what she experienced was creepy. Definitely 2 different things. Definitely. It wouldn't have been the gentleman, because obviously they loved each other. They was very close. She did everything for him. He would not do that.
No.
Yeah.
But might have been a lower elemental that came in while you were in a half sleep state. And that's when you're at their lowest, at their level. And they might have thought, we'll jump in here. But luckily, it didn't come fully through. But they can do, but luckily it didn't.
Could it also be, if somebody were, obviously Claire were in that room and there's other people in that room with her. Could that have been maybe say the energy from the next one of people that, so like Claire's, because you're in bays, aren't you? So you've got your bay, and then the could that have been from, and not knowing, but could it have been from one of the other people in that bay? And because Claire is very Claire's very easily affected by energy vampires, very easily. They really I mean, we're working on protection around her, and we've got things in place and stuff. But at that point, when she would have been in hospital, you wouldn't have had that protection.
No.
I went on this journey that I'm on now.
No. So could it have been because of how? Could that have been somebody negative in that room with Claire, and she was picking up on, and that's how it formed itself to show her that there was somebody not that did have maybe some attachment to him. Do you know what I mean? And because
that's kind of reached out to, further afield within the vicinity of where it was. Could it be?
It was just.
Did you feel threatened, Claire?
It's like, it was creepy, but I weren't. I mean, I went for a cigarette. I was shook up. It was creepy, but it weren't enough to like make me scream out or anything.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? Like, oh my god, what's just happened? Do you know what I mean? What the hell was that? I weren't freaking out, but I was shaking. Hence why I went for a cigarette. It was about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So that's a time as well. Yeah.
So
that time's
significant. But then I thought as well, because I thought it couldn't have been him, because like I don't think it was. But then I thought, like if I were asleep, but it felt so real. This is the thing, and I did sit up while early hours. It felt so real. But if it were a dream, was it something that just portrayed itself that way to wake me up? If I were asleep, like something's happened, get up.
Yeah, and that might be on its way to, if they just sent you roses.
To me, it felt so real, because it just felt like I were awake.
Yeah,
I could have been asleep thinking about it, but it felt so real.
How dream?
Yeah. If I was to like a detective test now, I would swear to I were awake.
Yeah,
but I could have been asleep. Do you know?
Yeah. It's weird how in dream state we tend to see a lot more in a dream state.
But I was just like laid there as it was happening. I was just like laid there frozen. It was just like watching it crawl up the seats. Do you know what I mean? Up my body.
It's like dreams as well when you have real dreams. Like you said, Claire, you know you're awake, but you're still dreaming.
Yeah.
A dream within a dream.
But like you said, I could have been in that state where I was like half kind of. But it felt so real. Like I can see it now. I can't explain what it looked like to you, but I can physically see what it looked like.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had some terrible dreams lately, really vivid. And when I woke up, I think, oh, thank God I woke up.
Go on.
Sorry?
Go on, Danny. It's all right.
No, I just said I've had some really vivid dreams lately. And when I woke up, I think, oh, I'm really glad I woke up. I mean, my sister's been in them, my brother been in them, Sean been in them, and then Tone been in them. And they're all past and he's still here. And they're all mingled up, mixed up, confused. I can't even remember all of it. All I know is they weren't very pleasant. And I need to write them down because it's getting so bad, if you like, now, and so many, so often, it's got to mean something. I know it's got to mean something, and I've got to work it out and piece it together to make sense of it, because it's not something that I should dismiss just because I woke up and you forget it. You should wake up, write it down, or even talk into a dictaphone and then try and work it out. But to have somebody that's passed and then somebody that's living into it, and I'm looking out, I'm looking into the dream. So I know I'm not in the dream, I'm looking at it. So it's a dream within a dream, and I know sometimes I'm dreaming, but you still can't sort of wake up and say, wake up, this is a horrible dream. It still goes on, and it goes on and on and on. And I actually do astral travel as well. I think that's why I wake up so much knackered in the morning, because I'm not getting that that real nice relaxing dream state, if you like. It might be the tablets I'm on.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Do you think they might be horrible dreams because your experience is horrible? The experience of losing Sean is horrible.
Yeah, there is a definite factor in that. Yeah. But I don't think it's everything.
In your subconscious mind, the loss of anything is horrible, whether it's the loss of a job, whether it's the loss of a parent, a child, or wherever. It's a
I very
negative
often
thing
dream.
for our mind.
Yeah, I very often dream of an old house that we were in, and I hated it. Things happened when I was at school. I know I'm dying to go toilet in my dream, because I'm trying to find a toilet, and most of the toilets are horrible, or I've been here before, I don't like these, I don't like that one, and I'm arguing with myself in the dream, and then wake up and I'm bursting for a wee bit. So that to me is, you've got to see that.
You've got to be wanting to get rid of something. You've got to be harbouring something.
Yeah.
For me, when you look at dreams, for me personally, I mean, Cliff's put, I know what you're going through, Nanny Lynn. I've had so many weird dreams when I've asked questions before bed. I think for me with dreams especially, I always think dreams link into something that's not all the time, but some of the time, things that are going off in our life that we're not addressing. And there's a lot of things I know around you, Nanny Lynn, that you haven't addressed yet. You know, we've talked on personal levels, and there's going to be other things that's happened in between that as well, from then till now. And because you're wanting to wee in your dream, you're wanting to let something go. Do you know? As daft
no, it's not daft, because you're releasing it.
Yeah, it's like, so you're wanting to release it. Maybe these dreams are trying to. Maybe there's going to be some light in the dream that's going to be like, right, you need, because your sister's involved in this. Is your sister still living, or is she passed, Nanny Lynn?
No, she's passed.
She's
passed. My brother-in-law.
So maybe
my brother.
It's got to be linked. It's got to be linked into family then. You know, maybe you did. Maybe you've not actually got over the loss of your brother, the loss of your sister. And you've like, even though there could have been years between them, it's like loss after loss after loss after loss. And now Tony's coming into it, because really, Tony's like, not like the last one, because I know you have got other family members out there, but Tony's the closest thing to you. And maybe it's that fear of losing Tony at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Might be.
I mean, I'm just picking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But there's got to be something in it. I've just got to work it out. Yeah. But it's very exhausting for me at the moment. And that's why I was so upset today.
I don't know when you're going through what you're going through, though, Lynn, especially with Sean. I don't know how, this is going to sound so negative, and I don't mean it to be. I don't know anybody with a loving heart that would go through what you've gone through, and you try to deal with it your way, which is move on. But subconsciously, it's still sitting there. Whatever the loss is for any of us, it's still sitting there. And I believe when we dream, we don't dream to rest our bodies, because if we dream to rest our bodies, we wouldn't move at night, and we toss and turn and we're moving all the time. So I believe we dream to sort out our subconscious mind. And I believe if you're not dealing with it consciously, your subconscious will deal with it and give you these cryptic messages or whatever.
Yeah.
Unravels it that way somehow.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've always, I know it's changing topics slightly, but I want your, if I may, ask your take on this. I gave somebody a crystal reading Saturday, and not going into details and who she was and that, but I had a reading that said, she said that Sean was going to help me now. He's here, and she was talking to him and answered a question I've always been asking. Did he suffer? And he said no. He said he's really sorry for the moods he was in. He tried, but the system let him down. And he didn't suffer. Please get it out of your head. I did not suffer. I just went to sleep.
Yeah.
And he said, I must stress, that's all I did. I went to sleep. And he was a bit angry at first because the system had let him down. But then he was sorry for what he did and sorry. But he's helping people go over now and helping them what he went through. So he's sort of guiding them and helping them when they pass to how he passed and why he passed. And when I had my reading, I did a reading for somebody else, and it was the end of the evening. And this young lady, and I don't mean to sound big-headed or anything, but everything I said, she kept going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, are you in my head? Are you in my head? And her friends was laughing as well. And then all of a sudden I had this whoosh of draft go past me, and I had this name. And I named this name to this girl, and she said, oh my God. And all the others laughed and said, oh my God, oh my God. Apparently, this was this girl's ex-lover, 2 ladies. And I said, well, I don't want to say it. I said, but I only get messages like that when they've passed. Do you know if she's passed? And she said, no, I don't, but I can find out. And I said, well, I would hate to say she's passed if she hasn't, but that's usually the only messages I get. So anyway, the next day, I found out that she hadn't passed, but somebody else, I hope you'll catch up with me. Somebody else pointed out, and I thought it was an absolute brilliant explanation, that lady was so guilty and so sorry what she did to her friend. Her energies came out and was in the energy, in the ether, if you like, saying she was sorry to this other lady. And I picked up on it. And I said, well, I've never done that before, but that's absolute brilliant way of explaining it. And then I thought, hang on a minute. My reading said that I've got a gift that Sean will help me from now to get to my ascending masters and stuff. So I thought, oh my God, it's already begun. There's no way I would pick up on somebody that was alive's energies and give out a message like that. So to me,
but you know, I mean, like you said, Annie Lynn,
am I right? Am I wrong?
I think I mean, for me, I think we like you said, you're ready to ascend, you're ready to move on to your next level and stuff like that. I do believe that we can bring energy through from a living person, though. I believe that if somebody's our energy is strong. And I believe that if we're giving a reading off and a message needs to come, whether it's from the living or somebody that's passed over, I do believe that you could pick up on somebody's living energy.
Yeah, I do, but I just never have. That's my point. I never have.
Have you ever picked up on a living person? Lana, Loopy-Loo, falling asleep. She's away with bloody fairies. Have you ever picked up on a living energy when you've done your readings like Nanny Lynn? Nanny Lynn's picked up on a lady's energy that was still living. Have you ever picked that up?
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you think about it, people can astral travel. If you're daydreaming, you feel as just like I did now.
Yeah.
Feel like you're miles away. Well, you probably are. You look at those phrases and it kind of explains that state of mind that you're in. And somebody could be sat there just kind of miles away and have kind of come through where you are. I've had that, and it's defining those energies, but you learn to do that. You know you know that it's a different energy, as opposed to, you know, a spirit there is come into, you know, with that person's reading, for instance, or, you know, as opposed to, you know, other energies. We can go on and on, but it feels very different.
So that could be what Nanny Lynn's going to be learning, and this could be like Nanny Lynn. So this is what Sean's here to help her with, to separate the living energy to the past energy. You know, if that's how
the lady I gave the reading to, the next day she said that was so helpful because that's what she needed to hear, and it's helped her heal.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest,
to me that said everything.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, how many of us need to hear something from somebody living though that would make us think, wow, do you know? Whether it's a sorry, whether it's just hey, hello, how are you? Sorry, I'm busy. You know, and I think like if you can. Energy, we know energy can travel. So like maybe at that time when you were doing that reading, that lady's energy, like Lana says, were away with fairies and was thinking of that young girl then. And it were like the energy zapped. Why is it that I pick up more on dead folk? It's just where you are. Do you know, Deanna, I think
I used to.
I think it's where you are on your own personal journey. And to be honest, I don't think there's right or wrong in what anybody does. We all work differently. How Lana works is the complete different to how Nanny Lynn work, how I work, how Yolanda works, how Claire's works. We're all working differently. So when you say, why is it that I pick up on more on dead folk? It's just because that's where you are in your learning process. But again, it doesn't mean that things aren't going to change. It just means at this minute, that's where your energy is going from.
Lindsay, can I give Deanna the example today of Rob?
Yeah.
Deanna, we go to a spiritualist centre, and Rob is for the first time learning about mediumship, and he's doing it for the first time. And today when we had lessons the other day, Rob found it very difficult to express what he was feeling. And Sue, our guide there, said to him, well, maybe you're seeing in symbols. So anyway, today we had a practice in mediumship. And I was very pleased with what I did, because I know one would think it's silly because he's my other half. I was giving him stuff. I got that his sister had got a kill from, which I never knew. His sister's died. But when she was a little girl, she used to wear a coat. I described the garden, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then it was Rob's turn. And Rob started describing my childhood when I was taken to Ireland as a little girl. And it was lovely because he had the confidence to express himself. But one of the things he couldn't get over, and this is coming back to you, Deanna, obviously, was that he saw the torso, he saw the arms, he didn't see the face. And he found that quite disturbing, that he couldn't see the face of the people he was trying to communicate to me. He did it by dress, he did it by build. So we spoke to Sue today when we went back there, and Sue said, if that is what you see, it doesn't matter, as Lindsay just said, if that's your spiritual way of dealing with things and how you pick things up, that's yours, take it, because that's how you will learn to communicate. So,
I mean, it probably helped Diana for near-death experiences you've experienced, but like for me and a couple of others, well, actually there'll be loads more. There'll be loads that have had near-death experience, but then there's us that have never had a near-death experience, but the communication still comes through. It's just very strange. Like I say, I think everybody just works with a gift that they've got, and some people will choose not to work at all. Some people will just be too busy with their own lives, because I think to take on a spiritual life, you've got to have time. Do you know, it's something that you can't just you can't just snap your fingers and say, all right, I'm going to do it. It needs work. That journey constantly needs working on, just like a job, just like studying. I know Nanny Lynn and Lana also the same. When you're on these journeys, you just are constantly learning, but to like ascend to like Nanny Lynn wants to ascend to, Nanny Lynn's going to have to put that work in. It's not just going to come to her, and like Sean can guide her, but it's Nanny Lynn that's got to do all the work leading up to that. So it's strange.
It seems very individual, doesn't it? There isn't one shoe fits all. It seems we all have our own way of doing it.
It does. Do you know,
I want to ask your opinion on something as well.
You what, Doug?
I want to ask your opinion on something. Right, so lately I've been like thinking of somebody, and then boom, they're there. They appear that day, right?
Yeah.
So like at work, for instance, we'd run out of one of our products. It was like it's a spray aerosol. And I said to my son, when's Otto smart guy coming? We've run out of these smellies. Evan says, oh, he ain't been in for ages. I says, oh, I ain't got a chuffing number for him. I can't even ring him. Next 2 hours, and he walks through the door. He ain't been for months. So, yeah, coincidence. But it's not. It's happening every week, sometimes twice a week. Not obviously with just him, but with different people. I'm thinking or saying I've not seen him. And phone call, text, they're there. And it's happening more and more and more and more. And then we did quiz, as Lindsay, as you know, we do quiz every Thursday, don't we? A family quiz. I'm sat here, Evan's sat here, we're doing online quiz. 3 times I said to Evan, stop reading my mind. It gave the same answer as what I was like thinking, but I've not actually physically said out.
Yeah.
Apart from one where it wanted an actor. It was remember 3 Men and a Baby. It named 2 of the actors, and it wanted the 3rd, and I didn't know it were. We said Tom Selleck, it wasn't one I knew. So I said something stupid like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Aaron was just writing it down as I said it, and I couldn't see what he was writing. And I'm like, what is going on?
So what I would say is, welcome to the start of your own personal spirit journey. This is how your guides are choosing to, the energies of work choosing to work with you. So just go with it, Claire. I think
it's just like, bloody hell. I did it again today. I thought of someone this morning and they walked in my shop. I'm like, it can't be coincidence this anymore. It just can't be.
Don't tell that, because if Joe Mack's still listening, she'll say good to her house and think of Tom Hardy, and he might appear for Joe Mack at her house because she likes Tom Hardy. And don't be giving her any idea. If Joe Mack invites you for coffee, you know why she's inviting you for coffee just to get Tom Hardy at her house. But no, I mean,
it used to be called intuition, didn't it?
Yeah,
it used to be called intuition.
Like I said, if it were just every now and again, but it's like happening every week, sometimes 2-3 times a week.
Yeah,
and it's like this is getting a bit like.
It's your calling.
It could be a type of telepathy going on there, Claire. So that person is thinking about going to your shop at the same time you're picking that up. So it's kind of a transaction between energies of mind.
Yeah, something's going on. It's just like
go with the flow and enjoy. Jules has put, is there anyone in the class that doesn't get nothing in every lesson? Because I can see myself getting nothing in any of the classes when I start in May.
Yeah, me too, Jules.
Jules, can I just tell you that, to be honest, because of how I work with the energies that I work with, there's been times in church I've got nothing. There's been, when Rob first started, I mean, Rob's been doing this now 10 weeks, and Yolanda will sit there, and Rob will even come on and tell you. When Rob first started, Rob didn't get anything. Even when we'd go into a meditation, we'd come out of meditation and Sue would say to Rob, because she'll go around you all and she'll say, what did you see? Did you go anywhere? And you just give a little bits of what you'd seen. And Rob used to just say, seen nothing. I've just enjoyed the peace and quiet. Do you know? And that weren't it, Yo-Yo? That's how Rob started. And then
but Jules, it was funny. Sorry to interrupt you, Lindsay. Funnily enough, one of our closing lessons today, Brian, who's the other mentor / teacher, said, we're closing up now. Is there anything anybody would like to say? Anyone? How do you think we've done? Can you give constructive critique? And I said, I want to thank Sue for what she's done. I think she is a banging teacher. And here you go, Jules. She said, if you don't get something, and I was with Rob the other day, which is very unusual because she keeps us apart, people that know one another, like Lindsay, John, Rob and I are never allowed.
She's not going to put you with a partner. She put you and Claire together because you don't know each other.
But she did on this occasion partner Rob and me because of the logistics of trying to get everyone that didn't know one another. So Rob and I ended together. And one of the girls said, I'm not getting anything, that was with us in the group. And Sue was fabulous because she said, don't worry. She said, it took me 6 years to get where I am. She said, you don't always get everything at the beginning. So honestly, Jules, please don't think because you get nothing, because as Sue said, Rob didn't. She is fabulous. And she's not a teacher that treats you like an imbecile. She's not a teacher that gloats because you don't get it. She's a teacher that is just there to mentor you and to guide you. And she's one of those people that says, neither did I. And it took me 6 years to get here to be able to do what I can do now on whatever it was doing. So she's fabulous. So don't be scared that you don't. She will hold your hand and see you through it. And there's no gloating.
I'm actually going to try and get Sue on and do an interview with Sue and how Sue came about on her journey and leading up to being in the church where she is now, because it's an amazing thing. Because people just I'm not picking at you, Jules, I don't think but people do think that they'll sit there and think I can't do it, but you have to change the I can't to I can, because when
change intention.
I can't, that intent. Whenever you say I can't do this, you've already told your brain your brain won't do it. If you sit there and say, I did this with meditation, meditating, I used to sit there constantly and go, I can't meditate. I sat down today for the first time without falling asleep, and I did a 20-minute meditation. It was fantastic because I told myself before I did it, I can do it. And I did that meditation, and it was just amazing. Even if Jules, you don't fully open up, but you open up slightly, it's your journey, so there's no rush, but don't think anybody's going to look at you and go, she's not going no.
None of that, Lindsay, is
not like that.
There isn't any of that. Honestly, everyone helps you. Everyone.
Bitches gets, what is it? Bitches get stitches. That's what we'll say. So, but no, none of them are like that in group. They are absolutely and I so think supportive.
I think one of the opening things that Brian said right at the beginning when he's introducing is they won't have any hierarchy there. They don't care. You're there for your own spiritual journey. There's no hierarchy. They don't think you're better than that one. It's not about that. It's about your spiritual journey.
And even those that have been there, I mean, Nikki's an amazing medium in herself. And Nikki just sits with the rest of us and she's like, nah, I'm not ready for platform. I know I'm ready, but I'm not ready. Do you know, there's no ego in any of them that sit there and go, well, actually, I can do this and I can do, I could do that before I was 4. I could do that standing on my head and eating ice cream and still talk to the spirit. You don't get none of that. You don't get none of that.
The irony being, Lindsay, I don't know if you'd agree, everybody, the irony being that if somebody did sit there and do that to you, they're not a very spiritual person, so they wouldn't be in the group.
Exactly. That would be it. Yeah. That would be that's you can't say no, you can't say any different, because that would be how it would be.
You know what, while you've been talking about spiritual church, something's just come to me.
Go on.
you know, that I've only been once, hadn't I? And I had that reading. Do you remember, Lindsay, when he said to me, you've took over from your nan, you've took her place, you've took over from where, yeah. And I said, yeah, I have, because I'm there for mum and dad now, because mum obviously ain't got her mum to speak to, so all the troubles and everything, it's me. I don't think that's what he meant, because my nan was a white witch. She was one of them, if you were having trouble, if you got a problem, she'd phone you and say, what's up, before you'd even spoke to anybody about it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's what he meant.
Okay.
You've took over from me now.
Going. Jules Darby,
Yeah.
your anxiety is working overtime. Tell your anxiety to do one. I'm only messing with
Jules, I have dreadful anxiety. Honestly, there's no need for it there. It's like you've walked into another family.
As soon as you walk in, and
hold
trust
you.
me, I wouldn't put you in a place where I think that your anxiety would get the better of you. I really wouldn't.
I'd go with anxiety.
I suffer with anxiety as well, Jules, and I felt comfortable that time that I went.
Yeah, I mean, Jules has been
She'll be all right with me, lass. She'll be all right with me.
Every time Jules comes, it's like, do you know, Lana, Nanny Lane? Yolanda witnesses this. I don't need to say Yolanda's name. I'll say to Claire, or I'll say to Jules, oh, we're going to Spiritualist Church on Tuesday night. Are you coming? Do you want to come? Do you want to come? Do you want to come? And I'm at him. Do you want to come? Are you coming? Messaging him. Are you coming Tuesday? Are you coming Tuesday? No replies. I'll message him next day till I get the reply. Yes, I'm coming on Tuesday. I'm constantly at him. And then they come along. Claire, we're running late. She managed to get there on time.
I don't know how. I did like half an hour journey in about 25 minutes. I've literally got 5 minutes to spare, and I don't know how I did it.
She got a reading. Jules come with us. Jules has been to church prior, and Jules come and she sat down. It was the first time we'd met Jules, and Jules got a reading. So I said to Jules last week, are you coming to medium on Tuesday? She says, I am. I'm coming. So then I think Jules messaged me about 6 o'clock. Are we going tonight? Because I'd forgot to message. And I went, yeah, we're going. So she had to get her out of her garden, chuck her glad rags on, clean herself up, and then come to church. And I said, looked at her and I said, you know, if you get a reading tonight, I'm going to push you off the fucking chair. And lo and behold, honestly, lo and behold, the medium, I don't know whether it was first or second one, he says, could I come to the ladies out there, please? And I'm like, looked at her, and I'm looking, and I'm like, sly look while she's doing a reading.
Grinding your teeth.
I said to Becky, Becky didn't understand what I was saying. I goes, I'm going to floor her. Meaning, I'm going to push her off the floor. And then a reading had finished, and I turned around and I said, that was lovely, that. And she went, I know. I went, now I'm going to push you on the floor for having a reading. And we just started laughing. You know, I'm not giving me readings because I'm inviting everybody else and they're coming and taking readings.
I got one that night. I was the first one to get one that night, and it went from this side of Lindsay all the way to that side of Lindsay over to Jules.
It did. It skipped. It was, yeah.
You got one the night I went.
No, and in all time,
you got one the night I went, because he asked me about that young gentleman, and I said no, and he says yeah, and it was for you.
Yeah, it were brought me. Yeah, it did. But John's never had a reading.
Is it not?
Lana, can't hear you. No sound. Lana, there's no sound.
You need to start fluttering your eyelashes, John.
There's no sound on Lana's.
No.
A mic's not muted.
She's getting a new cable.
Yeah, but she shouldn't need headphones in anyway.
No, I mean, she's just got a cable. Just a cable.
No sound. That's it. We're back. No.
Yeah.
Oh, echo. Oh,
echo.
Try again, Lana.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you now, yeah.
It's the battery.
Diana's lovely. I'm glad you feel comfortable.
Battery's
My
going.
battery's about to run out.
I think we've been on an hour and a half. So on that note, I don't know Lana, what were you going to say, sweets? Because you were saying.
I was going to say it sounds like a really nice group, actually. And I don't like groups, but from what Lindsay said, and Yolanda and Claire, and Jules, it just sounds really, really nice.
Well, when you come across,
I don't do groups either.
Oh, it'd be lovely to go. I mean, I've been to spiritualist churches and not felt like you described before. You just want to
leave
or not go back.
Yeah, you do.
But it sounds good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of the nicest churches I think I've ever been to, and especially for the people that we've met there. And it's like somebody said, it's like you've found it's another part of your family.
Yeah.
And to have that when you've gone to when you're new to a spiritualist church, to have that within the first second week you got there. That feeling, I mean, first week I think it's always awkward first week when you're going in somewhere, but then the second week when you go, you just automatically, you just slot in, and it's like you've always had a place there. It's like, you know, like when you visit somewhere and you think, oh my God, I belong here. They said, you know, like Yolanda did it. She went and walked into Chesterfield and she went, I belong here. You know, when she moved up from London to Chesterfield and saw it. And it's like that with a church. You'll either walk in and think, I belong here, or you'll walk in and think, well, it were all right, but it's not for me. You know? But for me, anybody that walks through that door and doesn't go back, something wrong with their heads, because it's just,
I think there's when you get the rules of the spiritualist centre, one of the things they say is, you're going to be sharing close information, so please be very discreet and don't discuss and blah, blah, blah. And it's interesting because when we do have intimate moments, it's amazing how many people identify with your problem, or somebody will share a problem and we can all identify with it. And I go outside for a cigarette and Lindsay goes outside for a vape, and you start talking socially as opposed to the spiritualist centre. But in that social talking, we're talking about the issues we might have experienced, and that we all seem, my problems are no worse than your problems, but we all have whatever our problems are, and it's
I think it was
the common denominator that draws us into that world of spirituality.
I think it was Mantha that put it properly. Mantha turned around and she said, what makes her feel comfortable is everybody in that room has been through some form of trauma, no matter what it is. Everybody inside that room has been through some form of trauma, but yet we all, it's what gels us together, you know. And I think that's very true on what Mantha said. I forgot how she worded it now, but she said about it's not that you don't tell everybody your trauma at first, but you know that that way it were a non-judgment. It doesn't matter what trauma you've gone through. There's a non-judgment aspect of it when you walk in. But like I've got to say to Jules, because Jules does do 2 churches at Chesterfield, and both churches are just as friendly as each other.
That's lovely.
Because I don't want to just say one about, I've never been to the other one, but I know Jules does. It's I just want to make sure I'm not making sure I get both churches involved, and any other church that's out there that's don't want to get inundated with messages now. My church is bloody brilliant, but yeah, everybody's got that sympathetic and the empathy to follow it, so which is good. Right, ladies, I think we're going to call it because it's like an hour and a half. Lana's going to sleep on us once. A computer's going to die. I think Claire said her battery life will going on her computer. No, thank you again for joining. Next week, I think we're going to look on a lighter note. I'm going to come up with a good one for next Wednesday night, and it's going to start just as you come on. So I'm going to look for something that you've all got to be game, because you all might have to do something yourselves. So you better all be game for doing it. I'm going to think of something. And yeah, so next week we'll have a lighter one, and we'll have a little bit more of a.
As long as I don't have to jack off a donkey.
We might have to jack off a donkey. Might have to jack off a donkey, or might have to take a pussy to a barber's. Beaver to a barber's.
Beaver!
Beaver out to barber's. But yeah, so yeah. Right, so I'm just let Nanny Lynn say good night.
Good night, everyone.
Claire.
Good night. God bless everyone. Stay safe.
Yo.
Sweet dreams, everyone. Bye.
Lana.
Good night, everyone. It's been lovely to be here.
I know. Beautiful being here in this environment. Right. Everybody take care, stay safe, love you all, and we shall see you. It's Thursday tomorrow. Check what's happening. I will put on members at what time I'll be on members. But I don't think we're going to have a live. I think next live will be Friday, but we shall see. So adios, amigos. Take care, everybody.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios.